There is a moment, quiet, fragile, ancient, when the world around you becomes completely still. No footsteps, no distant engines, no humming electronics. Just silence, raw, untouched, and absolute. And in that moment, something happens inside your mind. A soft shiver crawls across your skin. Your shoulders tighten. Your breath slows, not because you want it to, but because something deep within you commands it. Your eyes shift toward a corner of the room without your permission. You don't know why. You don't know what you expect to see. But you look anyway. It happens in bedrooms. It happens in hotel rooms. It happens in forest hallways, empty train stations, and office buildings at night. It happens to every human being, everywhere on earth. A feeling rises from a place older than memory. Someone is watching me. Scientists have explained it away for years, calling it paranoia, imagination, leftover evolutionary wiring, or a misinterpretation of darkness and silence. But there is a problem. A problem so large, so consistent, so universal, that it refuses to be dismissed. This feeling doesn't behave like imagination. It behaves like detection. And to understand why, we journey to one of the most mysterious scientific incidents of the last decade. A silent event that took place in the frozen north, inside a laboratory hidden beneath the snow-covered plains of Finland. It was meant to be a routine study, a simple exploration of what happens to the human brain when all external stimuli are removed. No light, no sound, no touch, no movement, nothing. A chamber that stripped reality down to pure, unfiltered emptiness. The team expected boredom, maybe discomfort. Perhaps a few participants would panic from the lack of sensory input. But nobody expected what came next. Every participant, different ages, different cultures, different life experiences, reported the exact same words. Someone is watching me. Not, I feel watched. Not, I think someone is here. Not, it felt strange. The same sentence, the same phrasing, the same fear. This was not imagination. This was not coincidence. This was not psychology behaving randomly. This was a signal, a pattern, a message written in human biology. For the researchers, the first sign of trouble was confusion. The second was disbelief. The third was fear. Because when they reviewed the brain data, they found something disturbing, something no textbook had prepared them for. The reactions did not originate in the prefrontal cortex, the part that imagines, reasons, or invents stories. They did not begin in the visual centers. They did not begin in the emotional regions. The activation came from a location far older. The brainstem, the ancient core, the place where survival instincts live. The part that reacts to threats before you know they exist. This system has a name, though it is rarely discussed outside advanced neuroscience. The gaze detection circuit, a primitive mechanism designed to sense when another living being is staring at you. Not by sight, not by sound, not by logic, but by something deeper, a biological radar tuned not to bodies, but to eyes, awareness, intention. In the wild, this sense saved our ancestors. It kept them alive in forest jungles, caves, and deserts. It warned them of predators hiding in darkness. It told them when unseen things in the night were focusing on them. But in the experiment, there were no predators, no people, no animals, no heat signatures, no movement, no measurable presence at all. Yet every participant's brain reacted as if someone was standing inches behind them, staring without blinking. The logical conclusion? Something invisible. Something beyond the reach of cameras and sensors. Something that does not behave like matter or energy in the way we know them, that was being detected. Scientists debated quietly, behind closed doors. Some were terrified to admit that the human brain might be perceiving something science had no language for. Others were fascinated by the possibility that silence itself might lift the veil between the perceivable world and whatever lies behind it. Then the satellite data arrived. During several of the test sessions, satellites orbiting overhead recorded micro-disturbances, tiny circular shadows appearing directly above the chamber for a fraction of a second, just 0.12 seconds, barely detectable, easily ignored. But the chilling part was the timing. These distortions appeared at the exact moment participants felt the gaze. Not a second earlier, not a second later. Perfect alignment. Suddenly, the explanation of imagination collapsed. The idea of panic fell apart. The claim of hallucination no longer made sense. The participants were detecting something that touched the world just enough to disturb satellite instruments, and just enough to be sensed by the oldest regions of the human brain. But not enough to be seen, heard, or measured by anything else. The official report, released later, dismissed the anomalies as errors, glitches, calibration problems. But the private notes, the ones not meant to leave the facility, said something very different. One researcher wrote, "We are not alone in the chamber. Only our instruments are." Another wrote, "The brain reacts to something we cannot record, something aware." And then, the most haunting line of all, found at the bottom of a leaked internal summary: "Silence does not erase presence. It erases the distractions that hide it." This sentence changed everything. Because silence, true silence, does something to the human mind. It strips away the surface layer of reality. It shuts off the noise of the world. It removes the hum of machines, the echoes of life, the constant stream of sensory information that your brain uses to keep itself grounded. When all of that is gone, something ancient wakes up. Something that normally sleeps behind the curtain of civilization. This instinct is not fear. It is not anxiety. It is not imagination. It is a receptor, a biological alarm, a survivor's signal, millions of years old. And when it activates, your body reacts instantly. Your skin prickles. Your heartbeat slows. Your muscles tighten. Your breath shallows. Your awareness expands into the dark. All because your brain has detected something. Something that modern science still refuses to acknowledge. But here's the truth. Humans are not built for perfect silence. When it becomes absolutely still, you are not experiencing peace. You are experiencing exposure. Exposure to a layer of reality that your mind filters out during the noise of daily life. Exposure to something that does not move like us, breathe like us, or exist like us, but watches. Some cultures call it a spirit. Some call it a presence. Some call it a shadow. Some call it a guardian. Some call it a predator. Some call it simply the other. Science has no official name for it. Not yet. But the human body knows. The human body remembers. The human body reacts before the mind can even ask why. Because this instinct did not evolve randomly. There is no evolutionary advantage to sensing something that isn't there. The only reason a detection system like this exists is because something was there, something real, something humans encountered long before history began, something that silence brings closer. Ask yourself this: why do animals freeze in silent forests? Why do dogs stare at corners where nothing stands? Why do cats arch their backs at empty hallways? Why do birds suddenly stop singing when the world becomes still? What exactly are they sensing? Why has every ancient culture on Earth described the same presence? The watcher, the shadow in the quiet, the silent observer, the one behind you using different names but identical behavior. Why do children instinctively fear dark rooms long before they understand fear? Why do adults feel watched in empty spaces? Why do thousands of people report the same sensations during deep silence? The same chills, the same tension, the same invisible pressure, the same awareness of something standing close behind them. Why does silence feel populated? And why does this feeling grow stronger when the room is darker, the air is colder, and the mind is quieter? Maybe it's not an illusion. Maybe it's not a malfunction. Maybe it's not misinterpretation. Maybe it's perception. Perception of something subtle. Something that exists between the measurable layers of reality. Something that touches the human nervous system, but not our technology. Not yet. What if silence is not an empty space, but a doorway? A doorway through which something looks back at us. Not with eyes, not with breath, not with voice, but with awareness so focused that the oldest part of our brain recognizes it instantly. What if the feeling of being watched is not fear? What if it is recognition? A recognition of something that does not appear in daylight, does not speak in sound, does not move in measurable ways, but has been here far longer than we have. Something that observed the first humans. Something that watched over the first fires. Something that stood in the mouths of caves, in the shadows of forests, in the silent places where early people huddled together for safety. Something that has never left. People assume silence is peaceful, but true silence is not peace. True silence is revelation. True silence reveals what the noise of the world hides. So the next time you sit alone in a silent room, and that slow, creeping awareness rises from somewhere deep inside you, and you feel the air shift though nothing has moved, and you turn your head toward a corner without knowing why, remember this: you are not malfunctioning. You are not imagining things. You are not losing control. You are waking up, tuning into an ancient frequency, hearing a whisper that the modern world tries very hard to drown out, because the world you see is only one layer. Beyond it exists another quieter, older, and far more attentive. And when your environment becomes silent enough, your mind becomes open enough, your perception becomes sharp enough, that layer looks back, not to harm you, not to comfort you, not to frighten you, simply to observe, to witness, to watch. Because silence does not empty the room. Silence shows you who has been standing there all along.